Fighters do when they see each other for the first time? Is there like a sizing up, like a height? What do you do?
I think now at this moment we're both that, we have basically veterans in the game. It's just another meeting, another encounter. It doesn't really mean nothing until we get in the ring like that. I watch his fights. He likes to go forward. He likes to press the action. He likes to look for the knockouts. I'm the same way. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be both egos going at each other. Who's going to back up? I'm going to go in there and hurt him every single round. Every single round. If the opportunity presents itself and I could stop him or knock him out, I'm definitely going to be trying to do that all night. Because at the end of the day, that's what I do. I don't waste my time trying to take it to the scorecards.
All pressure on you, Jai, to get the job done, as there always is.
Always pressure. We live in the pressure. We thrive off it, you know what I mean? It makes us better. The pressure's always been there. I've always had to win. Even before these big cards, I've had family relying on me, so the fight's been made. Whatever it takes, let's go deep.
David Benavidez and Jai Opetaia step into a heated DAZN face-off, and the tension instantly rises as both champions lock eyes ahead of a massive collision. A dream fight for many fans. Opetaia calls this moment his destiny, believing years of hard work and sacrifice have finally brought him to this stage against Benavidez.
I've done the hard work, I've done my apprenticeship. I'm here for a purpose, I belong here. This isn't by accident I'm here on these big stages,
Who truly belongs as cruiserweight champion is a question only the ring can answer. Benavidez insists, promising that respect and dominance will be settled under pressure.
I think now at this moment we're both that, we have basically veterans in the game. It's just another meeting, another encounter. It doesn't really mean nothing until we get in the ring.
Recognizing that at a time when no one stepped up to face him, Opetaia still showed courage and accepted the challenge, and Benavidez openly respects that fearless mentality.
At the end of the day, he's the only one that came to the table ready to fight.
Exactly.
Nobody else. Everybody had excuses. Nobody wanted to fight, nobody wanted this. He's the only one that came to the table, and that's why we're here right now.
Meanwhile, Opetaia believes he is bringing every possible advantage into this fight and refuses to show Benavidez any level of hesitation or respect inside the buildup. He feels fully prepared for whatever style comes his way and is confident that his skill set will stand out once the bell rings. Opetaia makes it clear that talk means nothing now, only action matters. In his eyes, the real answer will come when both men are finally locked in the ring and forced to prove everything.
Sooner than later, but how would you see a fight between you and Benavidez going? Would it be toe-to-toe battle?
I don't know. He's never fought no one like me. You know what I mean? He bashed the shit out of this guy that just stood right in front of him. You know what I mean? Well, let's just see what happens, bro. Let's see what happens. Let's sign the contract. Let's go.
Exciting times. And
behind the scenes, talks between Benavidez and Opetaia continue as both sides quietly move toward finalizing a massive showdown, even while public attention shifts in different directions. New face-off clips and rising buzz have only added more fuel, with analysts noting how Opetaia was largely overlooked before his rise under the Zuffa spotlight. Now the perception has completely changed, with many believing he is no longer the underdog but a real danger capable of serious damage in the ring, which has intensified interest in seeing this fight finally locked in.
Before Jai Opetaia signed with Zuffa, he was ignored. What's happening now is he's being black. Not only am I going to take an L, this guy might break my jaw. He might break my face. He might knock me out. I mean, that's why I want to see Benavidez versus Jai. They're both animals, man. They're both mean.
Exactly.
So how can you be a fan? How can you have a boxing podcast or a boxing YouTube channel and you're like, no, I don't want to see Benavidez versus Jai.
Sense.
I'm gonna cheer for the WBC forcing this Michaelian guy to fight him, or they're going to strip him rather than see.
Analysts continue to push the idea that this is the kind of matchup boxing cannot afford to delay any longer. They argue that promotional politics or sanctioning bodies should never block a fight of this magnitude, especially when both fighters are willing and fans are demanding it. Whether it is a belt dispute or organizational pressure, the belief is that nothing should stand in the way of making Benavidez versus Opetaia happen, with momentum growing that this clash is now closer than ever to being finalized.
Alien fight. Jai.
Mario, didn't I just tell you if Benavidez wins that fight against Jai, he can get the Zuffa belt and do what Riddick Bowe did with the BC? Throw it in the trash can.
Exactly.
Right?
Whether it's a sanctioning body belt or a belt that is connected to a promotional entity, it should never prevent a fight.
The current landscape has shifted significantly since Benavidez' victory over Ramirez, with opinions now changing about what comes next. Earlier, Ade Oladipo suggested that Benavidez could move directly toward Opetaia, and that idea is still being discussed in boxing circles. Some believe that if Benavidez beats Zordo, a fight at cruiserweight is very realistic. Analysts point out the physical similarities in height and build between Opetaia and Usyk, while noting Benavidez would not hesitate to step up if the opportunity presents itself.
Opetaia, ooh, you know what? By the way, that's not unlikely. Like if Benavidez beats Zordo, and he could beat Zordo, I think that could happen. I think Benavidez would happily take the Opetaia fight. Whereas I think everyone else is kind of circling around Opetaia. I think Benavidez was like, fuck, we can do it. And Opetaia isn't as big a cruiserweight as I've seen. Like I see the height of Usyk, 6'3". Opetaia isn't that. I'd say Opetaia is about 6'1". Benavidez is probably about 6'1". Don't get me wrong, Opetaia naturally is a bit bigger, but that's not a crazy fight.
At this moment, unexpected moves continue to shake up boxing, with journalist Sean Zittel outlining major developments behind the scenes. According to him, earlier plans were focused on a clash involving Bivol and Beterbiev, with Jose Benavidez Sr. also confirming talks around making that fight happen. However, those plans now appear to be falling apart, and the matchup fans wanted most may not materialize. Zittel suggests that a rematch between Bivol and Beterbiev is being planned, potentially without Saudi or Turkey backing, and instead driven through Russian funding.
To me, that was the plan. They wanted to fight Beterbiev early this year, and so once Beterbiev gets taken off the card, that's up in smoke. Now, speaking of Beterbiev and Bivol, I was told that Beterbiev and Bivol will likely push through with a trilogy in Russia without Turkey's involvement, without Saudi funding. That'll be done by Umar Kremlev and the Russian boxing federation that runs IABA, IABA, for those of you that don't know, the Russian amateur boxing system, you know, perhaps with funding from just different Russian sources, let's say. So that is what is likely to be pushed through, is Beterbiev and Bivol 3 in Russia next, okay?
Zittel explains that the situation has taken another twist with the entry of Noel Mikhailian into the broader cruiserweight picture, adding even more uncertainty to the division's direction. He suggests it would be interesting to see how everything develops next as negotiations continue behind the scenes. However, there is also a strong belief that Mikhailian is unlikely to face Benavidez, mainly because the fight does not generate enough financial return. In contrast, a potential clash with Opetaia is seen as a much bigger and more valuable opportunity for all parties involved.
Which is he going to want to keep his WBC belt and defend against David Benavidez for what would be a lower purse, ultimately, for what he'd get offered to fight a Turkey-funded ring show for the lineal cruiserweight title against Jai Opetaia? Now, Jose Benavidez Sr., his version of events is he concedes that this isn't really that great a mouth-watering fight. He prefers Bivol and Beterbiev and then Opetaia in that order. But he has to keep his son busy. He has to get his son some kind of option. So that's why he went to Mexico to petition the WBC.
On the other hand, Stephen Edwards describes Opetaia as a physically strong and highly composed world-class fighter, noting that his calmness under pressure and natural athletic ability make him a difficult stylistic problem for anyone at cruiserweight.
He's twitchy, he's fast, and he's explosive. And David gonna have to be careful. That ball will hit you with a left hand, he can knock you out. And he's a southpaw, so he'll have some built-in advantages. He's just it's not a skill thing. He's a different level athlete than what El Zurdo is. And he's young, and he's mean, and he's gonna be fighting hard. I think David might know a little bit too much for him. I think he might be a little bit too skillful for him and be a little bit too slick, but his raw athleticism and punching power is something David gonna have to be.
There is growing excitement whenever Benavidez and Opetaia are mentioned in the same conversation, with analysts calling it a dream matchup at cruiserweight. The idea is quickly gaining attention because both fighters bring power, speed, and aggression that could make for a violent and unpredictable clash. Benavidez moving up through divisions only adds more intrigue, especially as he continues collecting wins and building momentum.
Another one I like is Benavidez. I would love for him to
to fight Jai Opetaia, but
oh my God! Wait, hold up!
I threw that out there like nothing, right? I know I threw that out there.
Slow down. Ease into that fight again, bro.
This is the thing. Benavidez, longtime boogeyman, 168 pounds, went up to 175, caught a strap there. This monster is going up to 200. He's about to fight Ramirez. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that Ramirez is a walkover, but we're talking about names here.
Levels.
Benavidez, I'd love to see him fight Jai Opetaia.
Analysts believe Opetaia would present a serious challenge, especially with his explosive left hand and natural size at cruiserweight. However, they also feel Benavidez's current form gives him a strong chance against anyone in the division. A win over Ramirez is seen as a stepping stone that would only raise the stakes further. If Benavidez handles that fight convincingly, discussions around a showdown with Opetaia will become even louder, turning it into one of the most anticipated matchups in boxing.
To see that. Two men, same size, crazy ability, both of them.
Blood, shaky legs. There's so many things I see happen in that fight. Jai's a monster, and his left hand is explosive. So if anybody can hurt David Benavidez, trust me, it's this guy.
And he's a big guy. Now, it's going to be a good test against Ramirez. Ramirez is not like a long-time 200-pound fighter, but he's still a very crafty, skillful fighter, and he's just a big guy.
He won't beat Benavidez. David Benavidez will win that fight big. Trust me, I'm saying it now. He'll win that fight massive, which will make the Jai.
Robert Garcia also adds context by stating that Benavidez still has important hurdles to clear before even thinking about moving further up in weight, emphasizing that facing proven elite fighters is crucial for the next stage of his career.
I think he's got a couple fights that I would love him to do, maybe at that same weight, or maybe go down to fight Bivol and Beterbiev, and the other one is what that other cruiserweight that signed with Sufa?
Jai.
Opetaia.
Yeah.
I don't know if that fight could even be done now that he's with Sufa and what belts they're gonna fight for, whatever. I don't know. But those are three fights that I would like to see Benavidez take. But then after that, he's ready for the heavyweights, man. He's ready to fight Usyk.
Opetaia responds with clear confidence, stressing that he has already shown full willingness to make the fight happen and believes the responsibility is now on the other side. He questions all the delays and outside talk, pointing out that real fighters simply agree and step in the ring when the challenge is there. In his view, becoming undisputed at cruiserweight is about action, not excuses or negotiation games. He also suggests that his rival may choose a safer route instead, even if the bigger opportunity is right in front of him.
Man, that fight's easy to make on our side. You know what I mean? I've been ready. I've been, you know, I'll just hear excuses and you know, this and that, you know, buzz, reach out. How bad do you want to fight? How bad do you want to be undisputed cruiserweight? That's an easy fight to make. You know, there's all these little excuses and stuff, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, I think he's going to take a different path. And I think he's going to take a smarter path, to be honest.
After the Ramirez versus Benavidez fight, reactions have been pouring in from across boxing, including former professional Anthony Mundine. He praised Benavidez for stepping up in weight and still showing speed, pressure, and punching power against a strong opponent. However, he also pointed out defensive gaps that could become serious problems against elite cruiserweights. While Ramirez did not have the power to fully expose those openings, the conversation quickly shifted toward Jai Opetaia, who is now being viewed as the division's leading force and the real standard for anyone entering next.
What's up, my peoples? Anybody that watched the Ramirez and Benavidez fight, mad fight. Benavidez done a marvelous job coming off from light heavyweight and dominating like that. He still had his speed, he still had his power, but I've seen flaws in his game, defensive flaws. Just Ramirez didn't have the pop to capitalize on it. The man of that division, the cruiserweight division, is Jai Opetaia. They need to run that next.
Anthony Mundine believes Opetaia represents the true test at cruiserweight, suggesting he has the tools to outbox and potentially outmuscle Benavidez if they ever meet. He highlights Opetaia's ability to control distance, fight inside when needed, and adapt under pressure as key advantages. According to him, if fighters are serious about claiming the top spot, then Opetaia is the name they must face. In his view, there is no clearer way to prove greatness in the division than stepping in with the very best.
See who really is the one in the cruiserweight division. I believe it's Jai. I believe he outboxes. He can outbox Benavidez, and he can outmuscle him too. He can fight on the inside. So, man, let's see if they're about it. They say they want to fight the best. Well, Jai is the best.
With opinions split and pressure rising, the cruiserweight division suddenly feels like it is standing on the edge of something huge. Benavidez is climbing fast, Opetaia is waiting at the top, and voices like Anthony Mundine are adding even more heat to a fight fans are already dreaming about. But in boxing, talk only lasts so long before reality steps in. Now the question is simple: who do you think is truly the best at cruiserweight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more boxing updates like this.